Skibbity dibbity dibbity. Skibbity dibbity dibbity dibbity. Skibbity bop bop bop. Yes, yes. Skibbity bop. Weep weep. Skibbity bop bop bop. Yes, yes. Skibbity dibbity hibbity. Ooh, skibbity toilet, skibbity toilet. Yeah. Through hardship to the stars. Or the way you said it, yes. Ad astra per aspera. Gorilla swung by and waved at the camera. He does that. He does that. Any other just like straight up black chai tea fans? Why do gorillas look so dignified? Because they are. Because they fucking are. Does that ever occur to you? Because they're the dignitaries of the animal world? Pass the salt, please. Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Pulsan Agaib. The voice from the outer world. Maybe it's too early in the morning, but I do not get the joke. Do the gorilla walk when somebody holds the door for you. Do you see the custom cinema roll themed gaming PC on DFF? No. On the subreddit? No. I have not seen that. Sounds pretty cool though. I want a cinema roll PC. I wish I would have ordered my PC as a cinema roll. I didn't know you could get a cinema roll PC. Nobody told me. Hello, Mr. Naughty Priest. Good morning to you. Nintendo fanboys still fuming. Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely destroyed Phoebes yesterday. Destroyed. Like, people don't want to step into the ring with me. I got too many years worth of video game experience, okay? I'm like a game wizard. All right, I played them all. I played them all when they were new. Okay? How long should I chase a woman that doesn't want me? Not 10 seconds, bro. Not even 10 seconds. Never. Yeah, it never pays off, man. If she don't want you, she don't want you. Have you ever played Half-Life? Stop. Stop with the have you played. Paul, have you tried? But yes, I've played Half-Life. I look like a plebeian to you? I think I coped well enough. Gotta separate my emotions from Nintendo thing because I got childhood memories wrapped up in it. Yeah. You ever play Guitar Hero? I have played it, not much. The one that I got into was DJ Hero. You ever played DJ Hero? With the faders and the different... You could scratch. That was pretty badass. I played DJ Hero. That song, I Remember was on there. Remember how it was with you. Remember how you pushed me through. I remember. Juice Harp Hero. Big moonshine jug hero. Spoons hero. What the fuck, bro? Spoons hero. I love it. Ruler on the school desk hero. Ball straight up dunking on legit bluegrass instruments. I was just fucking... I'm not dunking on them. It's just funny. Washboard hero. It's actually a traffic stop hero that exists in some places. It used a button on traffic light post by the walkway. It has a little screen. Oh. Cowbell hero is what we need, dude. That's the one. Ding, 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 ding. Were you ever forced to go to church? No. When I was a kid, my parents were never real super church going. But we would go like on Easter Sunday sometimes, or Good Friday or whatever. Maybe once every couple of months, we went to like a church thing. And as soon as I got old enough to say, I don't really want to go to that, my parents were like, okay. And I just never went again. Yeah, it wasn't like mandatory for me as a kid, so that's nice. It was never like, well, I was forced to go to church one time, and was staying. I was sleeping over at my friend Tommy's house. Tommy's dad was the superintendent of schools in my little town, so he was a rich kid. He had all the cool. He had all the cool video. Remember, he had a Neo Geo Gold machine, which is like fucking. Back in the day, that was like rare as hen's teeth. Anyway, I stayed over with his family, and his mom woke us up the next day at like 8 a.m. and was like, "Come on, time to get up and get breakfast. We got church." And I was like, "Church?" Tony was like, "Yeah, we got church. It's Sunday." I was like, "I don't go to church though." He's like, "Well, gotta come with us. You're staying over. That means you gotta come with us. Can't leave you here." And they were Catholic. And so I got dragged to a Catholic church ceremony. And I was like, was watching them all like, Dominus tecum. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, do I have to do stuff? And they were like, nope, you just sit there respectfully and quietly. It's like, okay. No, it wasn't lit though. It wasn't lit. Maybe I made it sound too cool. It was the opposite of lit. It was weird and uncomfortable. Well, everyone's about the bird. Well, everyone's talking about the bird. Birds are a bird. Everybody's heard about the bird. Was that like the Baby Shark of its time? That song? Because I'm not gonna lie, it kind of goes hard, but I'm not sure why people were listening to that. I do like that pause part where they go. Dude, that part bangs. It's the Gangnam style of its time, yeah. The song is pretty badass, actually. Hey, Paul, I know sometimes I give you a hard time, but I'm a child of the salt. No, you're not. Children of the salt don't give Paul a hard time, okay? Children of the salt listen and do as they're told. Don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is the word. The bird, the word. Well, everybody's heard about the bird. What the fuck? What's going on, man? What even were the late 50s and 60s? What even were they? What was even going on? AI will take immigrant jobs. Damn that AI. Damn you, AI. Why? Labor unions? Yeah, labor unions. Apparently it was a utopia, according to me Christian conservative friend. Yeah. You know what? Chicken butt. You know why? Chicken thigh. You know when? Chicken hen. I mean, yeah, there was some drug use. There definitely was some drug use in that era. I wonder if UBI would be on the table as AI takes more jobs. My call is that UBI is probably less than 10 years away. Like the first wave of it, like the first edge of what will eventually be a UBI, probably going to start within the decade. I don't think there's going to be any way around it. And I think that eventually the powers that be are just going to capitulate that, like, it's better to give these people money because they're just going to give it right back to us anyway. They're going to buy our stuff. Thoughts on Joe's State of the Union speech? We watched it last night for merch tier patrons. We did a live commentary, and that should come out for regular patrons next week. Yeah, it was awful in my opinion. I felt like maybe there was some memeing going on or something, because going into this, I hadn't seen any of it, but I'd heard people say, like, I mean, mostly libs say, like, this was actually really good. Biden actually, like, way overperformed expectations. And I was watching it, and he was stumbling, bumbling, fumbling, weird, so cracked up, you could barely fucking watch him. Like, he was, like, I kept commenting on it because it was like he was screaming the whole time, and he had a rictus grin on his face the whole time. Let me tell you something. We're America, Jack. I was just like, oh, who is this guy? And there wasn't one thing that he said without capitulating to the other side of the issue. True fucking radical centrism. He was like, I came from a town in Pennsylvania where the corporations, Jack, they destroyed my hometown. Nothing wrong with corporations. He literally said that. Nothing wrong with corporations, Jack. He said the same thing. He was like, it's time for Wall Street to pay its fair share. And then he was like, and I like Wall Street. I like those guys. Nothing wrong. They're not the bad guys. It's like, he literally is like, my predecessor tried to fight me on the border. I have a message. Join me. Let's do it together. Like, join me to Donald Trump? You want to join Donald Trump and pass legislation that he would be cool with? And people are crowing about this like it's some kind of triumphant comeback moment in Biden's history? It's the facelift that gives him the creepy stare. It's the facelift and the fact that his brain is kind of short-circuiting. And so he'll get like, if you really watch the dude, and this is sad, but it's true. If you've ever seen an old person that has memory problems, when they're experiencing a lapse in memory, their eyes betray how afraid they are that they can't pull what they need. And you will see that look on Biden's face probably, if you really watch that State of the Union, at least 20 times, where it goes from like serious, like, I'll tell you something, Jack. Let me tell you, back when I was, that look of like where the normal kind of like intensity melts away, and all of a sudden his eyes are filled with like, I mean, he was zooted off his ass during that. Like, every time there was a pause break, this was a phenomenon during the speech, and you can go watch it. Every time there's a pause break, right, where the Dems get up and like clap like a bunch of retarded seals, at the end of that, it's like his brain was going 90 miles an hour, but his mouth was idling at like 5. Every time there was a pause, like a pause for laughter, as soon as he started, he fumbled a whole sentence or like garbled it. You're like, what? What did he say? Does the president really need a good memory, though? Yes. Yeah. It would be nice if the president goes to meet a world leader and doesn't think he's meeting his predecessor that died in 1971. That would be nice. That would be ideal for a president, I think, if they could remember names of people that are alive now and not associate them with people that were alive 25 years ago. That'd be good. I would support that. You've seen the compilation of Biden saying the exact same thing from 2022 to now. This whole thing was just, so like, they cannot trust Biden in an uncontrolled environment to stay on script and to not make a gaffe, right? And so they used the State of the Union as a way to have an insanely scripted, rah, campaign stump speech. And he made all of the same promises that he made back in 2020. Raise the minimum wage, fix Obamacare, fix the border. All of that came, it's not it is not, it's no, you're wrong. You're just absolutely wrong. It's not per aspera ad astra. Latin doesn't have the same sentence structure that English and other and Romance language. Well, the Romance languages, a lot of them share it because a lot of them are derived from Latin. So because the term is through adversity to the stars, you would think he would say per aspero ad astra, but it's actually backwards. You start with the subject and you end with the predicate. So, to the stars through adversity is how I would translate the phrase, which is ad astra per aspera. In vino veritas. That is true. In wine, truth. Dominus vobiscum et cum tu spirit tu duo. Yeah. If Amelia was here, she could help me with the whole Latin thing. She speaks Latin. Et intera paxo minibus bone voluntatis bone voluntatis. Cantante Dominum. I learned a little bit of Latin in high school because I was in chamber choir. And we had to do, among other things, Handel's Messiah. Any interest in Dragon's Dogma 2? Yes, it looks fucking great. I'm so glad I'm getting a new computer in time for Dragon's Dogma 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima, give me Ghost of Tsushima. I've been waiting for Ghost of Tsushima for a while. You know how many times I almost impulse bought a PS5 just to get Ghost of Tsushima? At least a dozen times. Hope I can run it decently on my 1080 Ti. That's what I'm running now, and good luck. I am running a 1080 Ti right now from 5-6 years ago. That's what I've been using, and good luck. I did play Dragon's Dogma 1, yes. I want Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not building my computer, bro. I've been out of that game too long, and it's always such a stressful thing. I've probably built 24 computers in my life, so I know how to do it. Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PC in May. I think it's May 7th, but it's in May. So they're releasing Ghost of Tsushima Ultimate Edition on the PC in May. And I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. My body is ready to be a samurai. Push trees. What Fallout faction did you choose in New Vegas? I played New Vegas like 4 times, so I think I did most of the major stuff. The first time I played through, I sided with Caesar. I sided with the Caesar's Legion. And the second time through, I think I did a Mr. House run, and then I did like an independent run where I killed everybody. And then I think I did an NCR run. Ghost of Tsushima, dude. I've been waiting for Ghost of Tsushima. I'm ready for Ghost of Tsushima. I'm ready. Let's do it. Ave, true to Caesar. Bad or good karma in Fallout? Both. I play. If I play a Fallout game, I'm probably going to play it at least twice, just so I can go through it different. Get off my ass, you wee bitty fuck, 'cause if I pull out the claymore, you're shit out of luck. Who's that girl, that pretty young thing? After I fuck her, she'll get up and sing. Aye, aye, aye. Sharpen your boot and bludgeon your eye. Down to the pub for a 2-shilling ale. The bread on the counter is going stale. If I don't get some fresh bread soon, I'm gonna punch you in your face and bark at the moon. Aye, aye, aye. Sharpen your boot and bludgeon your eye. Aye, aye, aye. The Blarney Stone brings a tear to me eye. Ween is the best. You're right. Fun fact, Ween actually inspired the creation of SpongeBob. Yes, they created, it's my favorite Ween album. The album is called The Mollusk, and SpongeBob was created because of the title track on that album. Which has a call and response style. So it's Diener and Jeaner. Hey little boy, what you got there? Then the response, kind sir, it's a mollusk I found. Did you find it in the sandy ground? Does it emulate the ocean sound? Yes, I found it on the ground, emulating the ocean sound. Bring forth the mollusk cast unto me. Let's be forever and forever be free. There are 3 things that spur the mollusk from the sand. The waking of all creatures which live on the land. And with just one thin glance back into the sea, the mollusk lingers with his wandering eye. Do 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 do. No, there was no pineapple under the sea, but the creator of SpongeBob was inspired by that, and Ocean Man by Ween appears in the SpongeBob movie, also from the same album. There you go. Now you learned something about your childhood. Just do a karaoke stream one of these days. Maybe I will. Maybe when I get everything set up, my new rig and everything, I'll try it. I do like a karaoke scene, karaoke jam sesh or whatever. I don't know. I think my voice is in pretty bad shape, but that'll help it. Thoughts on Joker 2 being a musical? I'm there for it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm there for it. Ocean man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. Ocean man, the cost of the voyage of the moon is a real trip. Ocean man, crust of a tan man down by the sand, soaking up the thirst of the land. Ocean man. Good stuff. Can't really hang with SpongeBob, but I do think that's a cool little tidbit. Yeah, the good solo, you're right. You have a very calming and relaxing voice. Maybe that's why I almost exclusively listening to these when I chill outside. Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. That's nice. It's nice of you to say. I feel bad because for the last few years, my voice has been in really bad shape. And, to the audience's credit, nobody really mentioned it. So I think it was something that I was more obsessed with than the audience was. But since I've been doing these more and making an effort to socialize more and stuff like that, my voice has gotten way better. My vocal cords, I think, had just gotten weak. Can you do an epic deep voice? Yes. I can do several styles. Tonight, a 2-hour television event. One man, one cause, all violence. What do you think of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight? I think it's fake and scripted, but I'm probably going to watch it. Worry-be-doo-ah. 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 Paul, get a PS5 and add me. Now that Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PC, I will never get a PS5, homeboy. That was the killer app for me. That's the one PS5 game that I felt like I had to play. And now it's coming to PC. So you're fucked. You're fucked, matey. I will never buy a PS5 now. Not a chance. I tell you what, I'll buy a PS5 when the PS5 Pro model comes out, which is coming. PS5 Pro. Because they've already got the PS5 Slim coming out now. Now it's going to be the PS5 Pro. When that happens and the price drops a couple $100 and I can pick one up on sale, maybe I'll get one. But until then, why would I? I got an expensive ass computer coming. I play everything on that. I can't find the clip of Donald Trump saying a repeat-ah. Go to the Onion Nuggets channel. Onion Nuggets with a Z at the end. And I think it's like the second or third short back. It's like literally a loop of him saying, a repeat-ah. And you can watch it as many times as you want. Well, repeat-ah. Well, repeat-ah. Well, repeat-ah. Yeah, and my $500 investment will be obsolete just like that. Had it for 2 years. What are you talking about? I'll get one for GTA 5. I'll wait for GTA 5 or GTA 6 to come out on PC, which it will. I can wait. See, that's the thing, is I'm not the type of person that's like, if I'm not playing day one, I can't stand it. Dude, I will fucking sit and look at Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I'm not a rich dude. I'm not trying to brag. But if I wanted to just go splash out and get a PS5 just to play that fucking game, I could have done it years ago. But I waited. And now I'll pay $70 for the fucking collector's edition or whatever the fuck on PC, and that'll be that. See how that works? So when GTA 6 comes out, everybody's going to be screaming about how good it is, and everybody in fucking chat here is going to be, have you played GTA 6 yet? And my answer is going to be, no. Not until it comes out on PC. When they drop it on PC, I'll pick it up day one. Console gaming is dying. My call is, there might be one more generation of consoles. You might see like a PS6 or one more Nintendo console. I think Xbox is done. I don't think you will ever see an Xbox after the Series X or Series S or whatever their top, the One X, I guess, whatever their top model is right now. I would be shocked if Microsoft ever releases another console. I really would be. Why do you think it's dying? Because PCs are becoming more accessible, more affordable, more user-friendly, and they do more than just play video games. And so more and more people are starting to get budget gaming PCs and shit like that. I think that if these companies continue releasing consoles, what you're going to get is a little Linux box, like the front end that runs on the Steam Deck. It'll run Linux in the background, and the front end will be a custom designed UI for Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. And that'll be that. But you'll effectively be playing a PC. This whole like unique architecture for gaming consoles. Gaming consoles have already slowly but surely just become little PCs. Like the Xbox One X or Series S or whatever the fuck it is basically just a Microsoft PC. With limitations, unfortunately, for some reason. Unless you jailbreak it or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. PlayStation's already Unix based. So it's just a matter of time. I built my PC back in 2020, never went back. Yeah. I mean, I've had a PC my whole life. I've always been like a multi-platform game player guy. I had a PC and also had a PS2 back in my 20s, PS3, GameCube. Bought a PS4 finally. I had a PC though throughout all of that. The birds chirp where you are, Paul. I wish they did over here. Oh yeah, the birds love it over here. And the butterbutts are back. My favorite birds in the world are, I think they're like yellow spotted finches or something, but their colloquial name is butterbutts because they are gray and they have a spot of yellow on the back of their neck and right under their tail on their butt. And when you see that little yellow butt, at least when I do, when I see one, sometimes I don't know it's a butterbutt. And then it'll turn around to fly away and I'll see that little yellow dot on his butt. And I get, I legit get a feeling of peace and happiness. I love a butterbutt, man. There's something about when I get to see that little butterbutt. Yellow-throated warblers. That's a yellow-throated warbler. They got like a perfect little round circle of yellow, like sunlight yellow on their butt. It's the cutest thing. And they're sweet little birds. I love bird watching. There's at least 2 mated pairs of mourning doves that nest near here. And they'll be up in this tree or back here in this tree sometimes. Yeah, that's a sign. Like the fact that all Xbox games are going to be ported to the PC and PlayStation just shows you that Microsoft is looking towards the future. And they're going like, why are we going to spend another fucking $1 billion developing the next Xbox when we could just create like a fucking Windows-based PC streamlined PC gaming environment with a fucking overlay on it so that grandma could use it, why would we do that? So I think that Microsoft is going to get out of the console game with this generation and going to become just a software developer again and maybe offer something to play. I think that PlayStation might get a PS6. I think that Nintendo might release an upgraded Switch model maybe, but I think that will be the final generation of consoles. I don't think that anything will come after the PS6. I don't think a PS7 is in the works. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo will probably be... Switch 2 is confirmed. Well, there you go. I think Nintendo might hang around longer than the rest in terms of the console game. But it'll be a niche thing. Well, when that Xbox console comes out, what do you want to bet? It's a Windows-based box with an overlay. This, like, unique architecture for a console thing, I believe that's over, especially for Microsoft. Why waste time? Why waste time having your own architecture and shit when you make more money releasing it not only to your platform, but to the PC and the PS5 and the Switch? Yeah, I think Nintendo will continue to like release gimmicky little things. They might move all like exclusively to handheld, maybe. I could see that, but the days of like the console wars have been won. Sony won, okay, as well they should have. I think in my opinion, the PS5 is a better machine than anything the Xbox is offering. So they won. They're going to be dominant for a whole nother generation. And then after that, PCs are going to continue to come down in price and come down in complexity. And eventually it's all going to be just one thing. That's my call. And I think within 10 years, we're going to see that. I like the Xbox Series X as a Game Pass machine. Right. Paul, do you think... What? Jesus Christ, you guys. LLMs like ChatGPT will be introduced into future games like a game master of sorts? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's just one thing that's going to become prevalent, but absolutely, yeah. You're going to have like dynamic dialogue in games. It's going to be fucking great. Think about it. You're playing the Elder Scrolls 7, whatever, right? And you're, like how Sony does, your controller has a microphone built into it. And when you walk up to an NPC, instead of getting a dialogue tree, you'll say, "What do you know about the Masa Moon?" And the NPC will go, "Masa Moon? I think I've heard some rumors about that." Like, that would be cringe as fuck. I don't think so. I think that'll be fucking really immersive and cool. Xbox 360 won, then PS4 won. Now both consoles this generation suck. No, the PS5 is a good console. It really is. I mean, it's powerful. It looks good. Works on like modern screens. Has HDR. Looks good with OLED and all of that. It's a good console. It's not a bad machine in terms of like a video game console, but it just is completely outclassed in every way by a desktop PC or a high-end laptop. I have not played Tsushima yet. No, I've never played Ghost of Tsushima. I will get it the day it comes out on PC, and I'll be playing it. Xbox never sold more than PlayStation. Yeah, at the end, I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure even the 360 was outsold by the PS3. I may be wrong. The Series X is more powerful than a PlayStation 5. No. No, I don't think so. It's a totally doable thing with the LLM and PCs. Just connect the game to an LLM API with the right options on. Boom, there you go. Or if your machine is really good, run that LLM on it. Yeah, it's gonna be ubiquitous in these games. These games are gonna become more immersive and more reactive to player inputs because of these language models and stuff. You know, it's going to be, you could have an esoteric conversation with some guru in a video game, you know. It's going to happen. Can you build a PC that is as cheap as a console for almost the same price? So, no, probably not. Not quite yet. I would say that like an entry-level PC is going to run you $600 or $700. And that's very, you know, it'll play stuff. I would say entry-level PC that's going to play pretty much whatever you throw at it at the very least at 30 FPS and medium settings or whatever, which is totally doable for most games at the least. I would say you're going to probably pay $500, $600, $700. And you got to get a monitor and you got to get the peripherals as well. So you got to get like keyboard and mouse, got to get a monitor, speakers or some headphones to plug into it, you know. By the end of it, you're probably out $1,000 or more, I would say. Close to $1,000, maybe 800, $900. $2,000? No. You do not need to spend $2,000. I just bought a PC, okay? And I'll let you know, I paid close to $3,000 for it. And it's going to absolutely destroy any game that I throw at it on max settings with everything turned on. Okay, if you want that, yeah, you're probably going to pay $2,000 or more. If that's what you need. But if you just want to play all the games, have it look good. Somebody in here said that for about $600, do you play 4K? I never have, but I'm going to when this comes here. When my PC gets here, middle of the way through the month. I bought a really nice, not super top end, but high end PC. And I bought a 27-inch OLED monitor. So I'm going to be gaming in 4K like a true gamer. Like a true gamer, okay? Yeah, for around 2K, you can build a PC, especially if you're building it yourself too. Now, a lot of people, that's a little prohibitive, but you can find like, it really is kind of plug and play. You have to fiddle with it a little bit and things can go wrong. But as far as like building your own PC, if you do that, knock $100 off that minimum price. I built mine, a high-end PC connected to my 55-inch LG OLED. That's actually really cool. I bet that OLED is amazing. I splashed out on the OLED monitor specifically because for Christmas I got myself a Steam Deck OLED, and I'd never played a game on an OLED screen before. And I booted up Cyberpunk on the Steam Deck, and I was fucking blown away. I'd never really played a game with full HDR and full OLED. And I was actually absolutely blown away by how beautiful it was. So I'm really looking forward to getting my new PC set up and popping in. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw in Red Dead Redemption 2 or something and just maxing out those settings, turning on that HDR, turning on those God rays and shit, and calling it a day. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a graphics queen. I'm not like a high-end graphics queen. I will have the PC that I purchased probably for close to a decade, and it'll be barely limping along by the end of its life cycle, like the one I'm on now. So, but I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that, like, I'm not kind of stoked to see modern games at their absolute most beautiful. One game that I'm really super stoked to play is oh fuck, what was that Warhammer 40K shoot 'em up game that came out? Fuck, why can't I'm brain farting on the name? 40K Rejects, 40K Night Watch, 40K, something like that, right? No, not Helldivers, not Space Marine, the multiplayer one, Darktide. Thank you, Darktide. I my PC struggles to run Darktide in a multiplayer match on like really low and a couple of medium settings. So everything pretty much bottom tier, maybe texture quality to medium. And my computer is like pushed to the max by that. The computer that's coming in the mail for me, I'll be able to turn everything on in that and play buttery smooth multiplayer matches in that game. I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. Because that game looks really good on low. Yeah. I've seen like people playing Darktide at max settings, like 4K YouTube uploads of max settings Darktide, and it looks like a whole different game. That just means you're smart with your money, Paul. Don't upgrade till you see smoke. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Where are you buying your PC from? So I ordered a pre-built PC from Starforge, which is like a streamer vanity company. It's owned by, I think at least partially by Asmongold, the guy, who I don't watch a ton of his stuff, but I do watch him, and I think that he's the type of guy that wouldn't want his name on a piece of shit. Like, I literally went with Starforge because the reviews were similar to Origin, which was the one I was looking at other than Starforge. But Starforge has, his personality attached to it. Sorry, baby.
It's okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I looked around at a lot of pre-built sites, and I ended up going with Starforge because I didn't want to compromise on the quality of the build at all. Like, I wanted it to look really nice, to run really nice, to be really well wired, fully tested, and I honestly think that Asmongold is the type of dude that wouldn't want like a total piece of shit cash in overpriced, underperforming PC on his name, you know. He's like a gamer dude. That's what he does. I know influencers can be pretty scummy. I know that. But I've been watching Asmongold for... When did Diablo 3 come out? I've been watching Asmongold since Diablo 3 came out. And he's a dork. He's a nerd. But I think he cares about his community, and I think he cares about his reputation as a streamer and as a brand. And I don't think that he would, like I said, I don't think he would start a company and put his name all over it and be delivering people dog shit. I just don't, like, that's what pushed it over the edge for me in terms of picking Starforge. So, we'll see. The computer looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, just aesthetically beautiful, perfectly wired, beautiful closed circuit, water cooler, the whole nine. LED fans that it, you know, have a little control app, so I'll be able to make it whatever color I want. Which one did you take? I think it's called the Explorer 2. The first tier model of the final tier of computers. So I think the final tier ranges from $2,800 to $4,500 or $4,600 at the highest end. So you can go look at it. Starforge PC's Explorer 2 first model. That's what I ordered. Pretty much. So it's got an i7 1760K or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I don't remember. It's got a really nice multi-core processor, like an 8-core processor, I think. The Corsair RGB IQ control app is such a resource hog. I've never had it, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. It's got a beautiful case. It's got a Leon Lee case, which is my favorite case manufacturer. I just love how, like, no nonsense they are. They don't try and make it look like a space egg or something like some of these cases do. It's just very, like, functional, good pass through in terms of vision. Like, the whole side of this computer with very little bezel is plexiglass, which is really cool. Being of Irish descent, what are your thoughts on the Republican Army? Up the IRA, baby. Up the IRA, baby.
I don't think we're going to get our Irish unification of 2024.
No. No Irish reunification this year. I don't think so. Ireland should never rest until the blood of every tyrant and every crown-wearing weasel is covered in their blood, and the people are sovereign. Up the IRA. Fuck the fucking crown. What made you get married again? Good question. I had a realization one day, honestly. It was during COVID. We were in lockdown together. We hadn't been together super long. About a year?
Yeah. A little over a year by the time we got married. Yeah.
But when I asked, it was about a year. And I just had a realization one day that I had found a person that was super special and super good for me. I just felt it, in a way that maybe I just never really felt that. And I was like, I would be stupid. I'd be stupid to not lock this down. Like,
oh,
it's true.
You're so sweet. Love you.
I love you. I won't lie, there was like financial incentive as well. Being able to get on the same insurance and file jointly and all that stuff it's a benefit, right? So, I mean, those types of things, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you they weren't a consideration, but the reason that I pulled the trigger was just because I was like bowled over at how different our relationship was from any other relationship I've ever had. There was like a calmness and an acceptance and a non-judgmental kind of environment that we'd built together. Like a mutually supportive and respectful kind of environment. And it was completely different than anything I've ever been in. My whole life, I think I chased women in general that were like me in terms of like being pretty super extroverted and a little bit hot-headed. Like I was attracted to people who mirrored my own personality back at me like 100%. And Amelia, it's just very different with her. For every ounce that I'm hot-headed and impulsive, she's like quiet and respectful and contemplative. For every a bit of like me wanting to do things out of anger, she is very good at like slowing down in those moments and presenting options. When I'm in a bad way, she doesn't make me feel worse for it. Does that make sense? Like when I'm not feeling well mentally or physically, she doesn't layer expectations on top of me at that time, and she lets me do what I need to do to be well. And that may sound like something that, well, that should be a standard in a relationship, and I agree, but I've never had it. When I would struggle with my mental illness in previous relationships, the women that I was in those relationships with would eventually, and usually pretty early, react with disdain and anger when I had to cancel plans because I didn't feel up to doing something, or when I said I would do something and then I just didn't get around to it, or when I would talk about how we needed to do something and then in a scatterbrained nature go on to another thing and kind of forget about it and not do the thing I said that we needed to do. Like those are parts. Those are just a little taste of my character flaws. And I try not to be that way. It's not like I think that you should just accept those types of flaws in yourself. I do try not to be that way, but I am that way. And Amelia does not make me feel like a scumbag for being that way. She doesn't hold grudges over my head about things that we were supposed to do that we didn't get to do because I wasn't feeling good. She doesn't make me feel like a bad person for struggling. She lets me have space when I need it. Like, all of these things are new to me. New. Completely new. Like, never had it in a relationship. And that's why. I just couldn't believe it.
You had the best proposal idea ever. A ring pop.
I had the stupidest idea because it was the middle of the fucking pandemic, number one. And number two, I wanted Amelia to have input on her own ring. She's the one that's got to wear the fucking thing. I've never liked the idea that the dude goes out and designs this thing that's very important to the woman and doesn't really give her the option to look at it or choose it. And so I ordered a ring pop. I ordered a box of ring pops because I always thought that there was a commercial when I was a kid in the late 80s for ring pop, where there was a little boy dressed in a suit that was too big for him and a little girl that was dressed in a dress too big for her, acting like adults. And he goes, "Will you wear my ring?" And she's like, "Ring pop." And he puts it on her finger and she goes. And so I bought ring pops, and I said, you know, this is obviously not your ring, but I want you to get to pick that. Will you wear my ring? And Amelia went, "Ring pop." No, kidding. It was pretty cute, though. I'm glad she saw it as cute and not cheap and chintzy and thoughtless. Because I have a feeling that, like, other people I've been with would have, like, been mad about that.
We didn't go through the whole theatrics of like going out somewhere and making it this like big public thing that some people do.
Well, I mean, we couldn't have if we really wanted to at that point. We were in hard lockdown, and I had to do it. I just proposed to you at my desk.
Yeah.
Well, you do realize your wife is the exception, not the norm. Most people are not accepting and non-judgmental. I know. That's why I fucking slapped a ring on it, bro. I'm trying to tell you that. I know. Trust me. I know how fucking fortunate I am. I know.
Want me to start some coffee for us?
Yeah, I'd love a coffee. Thank you, baby doll.
You're welcome. Oh, sorry.
I know it's all good.
You want a shake too?
Yeah. It just helps with that medicine nausea so much. Protein shake on the way. Hence why he said he'd never had this in a relationship before Amelia. Yeah, I know how fucking rare. It's rare as hen's teeth. To find somebody that is not judgmental and that loves you for what you are, flaws and all. I mean, come on, bro. It was nice seeing you stoned to the bone on Friday on TV. Dude, I was. I went a little over the top with it, but it was fun. Maybe not every episode, but it was fun. Those moon rocks, dude. Something else again, bro. That's a whole different thing. We did not have those when I was a kid. Those were not a thing when I was a child. Yeah, I was smoking on they've got these like snow-capped moon rocks is what they're called. It's moon rocks that are dipped in pure CBD powder. So you've got the THC resin in the moon rock, and then it's dipped in CBD. It's like a powdered donut of a moon rock. Fucking crazy. That's why I love my wife. I'm bisexual and polyamorous, but she's still with me 20 years married. See? Yeah, see, that's awesome. That's awesome. Paul, it seems everyone around me, their relationships and their situations are collapsing, and I can only do so much before I have a breakdown. I mean, this may seem odd, but I'm going to say it. And you may disagree with me, but I feel like I'm thinking about it. I'm making sure this is not a hot take. No. Breakdowns are okay. Sometimes you need to have a breakdown. Breakdowns are your natural human emotions catching up with your reality, and expressing them and getting them out is sometimes what you need to do. Everybody has a breakdown. Everybody. I don't care how together they look like they got it. It happens, and it's okay. Don't get involved in their relationships or try to save them from it. That's key, bro. I don't have any kind of input on anybody else's relationship situation unless they ask me for my opinion, and they never do. So I keep that shit to myself. I don't judge people, and I expect others that are in my life to treat me the same. This is the best one of these little fucking disposables that I've had. This is super smooth and draws perfectly and tastes great. This is the real deal. Can of clear. Yeah, sometimes a breakdown is okay. Put a ring around your finger. Ring pop, it's a juicy jewel of flavor. Ring pop, it's a lollipop without a stick. A ring of flavor you can lick. Ring pop. If you dated someone older than you, I'm 26, went out someone who was 37, couldn't connect on any level. Yes, not super older than me though. My first long-term adult relationship was with somebody who was 4 years my senior. And my current relationship, Amelia, is 18 years my junior. And I've got to be honest with you, I've never had a problem connecting with any of the people, like in terms of interests and stuff, with any of the people that I've dated. That's a prerequisite for me. If she and I had nothing in common and no interests in common, I wouldn't even have dated her, let alone put a ring on her finger, you know? She and I kind of like started a relationship based on the fact that we just had so much in common when we talked. It was like we would finish each other's sentences sometimes, and we had similar interests. Her favorite band in the world was one like I knew about, you know, which is kind of odd. It's not super like that. I was into her favorite band, and she liked my music, and you know, like it just fit. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it never would have progressed past the internet flirting stage if we had nothing in common. That's just a total prerequisite for me, always has been. Ugh. I'm gonna go blow my nose because I'm tired of hearing myself sniffle. a juicy jewel of flavor. Ring pop. Now I've got the ring pop commercial. How do you handle criticism of your age difference? I'm sure you've heard it. Yes, I've heard it. Actually, at my Thanksgiving this year, I had to sit and listen to it from somebody who I didn't even know. Went to my family Thanksgiving, and my family is all super hardcore evangelical Christian now, like the whole crew. And so they have like a church Thanksgiving where it's family and church. So I was a stranger at my Thanksgiving again this year. I ended up sitting down and talking to this lady who had 2 kids and a husband. And she was telling me all her life woes. They were having a hard time. You know, she gave me her hard luck story. And I was listening, you know, and empathizing and trying to make good small talk. But it was really deeper than small talk. It was weird, right? It's like a person I didn't know, hadn't met until that night, pouring their heart out to me about their, trauma dumping a little bit, yes. So I'm on the couch next to this lady, hearing about how her husband's disabled, can't find a job, can't get his government check, and her kids are all unruly, and she can't get a job, and blah, 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 and they're this and that, right? This is the hard luck trauma dump story. And then she didn't even know me. She hadn't even asked my name, I don't think, at that point. I think maybe she'd been introduced to me. She knows my sister from church, so, she knew I was my sister's brother. And then she, once she moved on from the trauma dump, she went on to like, well, what about you and your wife? How did you guys meet? And I said, we met on Instagram. Oh yeah, that's real common these days. And she goes, she looks really young. And I said, she is pretty young. Well, how old are you? I was like, I'll be 44 this upcoming year. I'm 43 now. And how old is she? So she's 25. And meds. And her eyes got like dinner plates. How many years is that? I said, well, she was born the year I graduated high school, so 1998. And I would have been 18 when she was born. And it was almost like I just told her that I was dating a 12-year-old or something, or that I was married to a 12-year-old or some shit. And I got to tell you, when I got with my last girlfriend, Ashley, who had a way less significant age difference. I mean, it was still significant, but it wasn't 18 years, people treated me the same way. Like I was dating some teenager just out of high school or something. It's very weird the way that people react to it, because I've never given a fuck. Consenting adult, do what you want together. Was it a weird conversation? It was super weird, because I could tell she wanted to criticize me, but she was trying to be super polite, right? Oh, I see. And I finally just told her, I said, a lot of people have a problem with it. Well, I don't have a problem. I said, no. I said, a lot of people have a problem with it. But I said, it really works out for us, and it's not something that ever really comes up, unless it's kind of jokingly. I'll talk about something that happened before she was born, like she would remember it. That's kind of fun, weird sometimes. And I was like, in terms of our relationship, how we get along together, how we live together and stuff, it works great. We're great for each other. We love each other. We're real supportive, but I could just tell that later on, I was the topic of some fucking heated conversation. And I think it's just shitty, because I don't do that to other people, I'm not that kind of guy. I will never, ever judge you for who you're with, unless you're with a 13-year-old or some shit, you know? If you're with somebody underage, that's creepy and weird and wrong and illegal, but if you're an adult and you're with an adult, I don't care what the fucking arrangement is there. If it works for you, I'm happy for you. If it doesn't work for you, I'm happy for you. It ain't my place to say it.
Well, it's like, it's not like the cause of issues. It's just a risk factor to be more mindful of issues.
What do you mean?
Like the age gap, like it's not inherently that's a problem with some people. It's just something to be mindful of
Right.
when you enter it.
Sure, yeah.
Same way you'd want to be mindful if you got into a relationship with your boss or something, or mindful if you...
Right. Dating a longtime friend or...
Yeah. Long distance, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you think about it, but I think you should do that no matter what the age difference is between you and your partner. Like, you should be mindful of what's going on in the relationship no matter what. So, you know, it's just not a thing that really comes up all that often between us. And when it does, it's usually in a humorous way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll talk to you about like a movie that I'll just assume that you've seen because it, you know, everybody's seen it, but it was a movie that came out in 1988 and you've never heard of it, you know, and then we watch it together and typically you end up liking it.
Yeah.
That's one of like the major synergies that we have is we both watch movies the same way. And I think we both enjoy movies in the same way. We love sitting down and watching a movie and pausing it and talking and...
Yeah. Did you tell them about the Wonka last night?
I did not. So, that Timothy Chalamet movie Wonka came to HBO Max, and last night we were looking for something to watch, and I was like, you know what, just throw on that fucking Wonka. How bad could it be? It was real bad. I made it, how long did we make it in?
You made it to the second song.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes maybe. Yeah. Real bad, guys. Real bad. Timothy Chalamet can carry a tune but cannot sing. I do not know what this phenomenon is of casting people that can't sing and then just refusing to dub their voices over, because his voice was dubbed over anyway. It's not like he's singing, we're hearing what he's really saying in the scene. Mm-hmm. He's pre-recorded all these songs he's singing. So I don't know why they just didn't get somebody that had a nice, clear, really good voice to be this singer and just dub over his singing part with that voice. I do not know what this impetus is to put an actor that is not a trained singer in this role. And so he's auto-tuned to fuck. I can just hear it. He's auto-tuned to fuck. And even then, the first song never has any pitch change. What was it? It was like, I've got 12 silver sovereigns in my pocket and a hat full of dreams. And it was just that flat, right, throughout. So it's supposed to be this big bombastic, like, here's my character. I've got 7 silver sovereigns, you know. But it was like, I've got 7 silver sovereigns in my pocket and a hat full of dreams. And it's like, and then after that, we got to the second part, and it's just a CGI fest where he opens a thing and chocolates come floating out, and it's a big CGI, and he started singing, and it was in the same key. What was the song? It was, you know, whatever it was, but it was like the Hat Full of Dreams key. So he was like, I'm Willy Wonka, and welcome to my chocolate life. I was like, I'm done. All right, can't do it.
It was set up super predictably. Like, after watching the first couple scenes, we knew exactly how it was going to shake out.
I still don't know if I'm right, but I will tell you what happens in Wonka, because when he first comes to London or whatever city it is, he loses all his money the first day by giving it away to poor people and getting scammed and stuff, and he's got no money and he needs a place to stay. He goes to this place where they're gonna scam him. Like, he gets recruited by this guy who acts friendly but clearly is a scumbag, and he takes him to this place, and there's this woman that's working there that acts friendly, that clearly she's a scumbag. She's like, oh yeah, you can have a place to stay. We have our entrepreneur package. Just sign here. And there's, you know, like, he pulls it out, and there's like, it's like the Willy Wonka contract. It's an endless, you know, thing. And he eventually just signs it. He's like, well, whatever, I'll sign it. Yeah, and he gets a room. Then the next day he goes to like the chocolate street where all the chocolatiers are at, and he puts on a little thing outside and sings Hatful of Dreams, but a different song. And that's where we stopped. So that's what I know happened. I can guarantee you, tell me if I'm wrong, those of you that actually sat through this piece of shit. He's going to make it big in the chocolate industry despite Slugworth and all of the guys trying to stop him. And then find out that that contract he signed for the room makes that woman owner of anything he creates while he's staying there. And she's going to steal his chocolate business from him. And he's going to have to get it back. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, so she subjugates him as a slave or whatever, makes him do her bidding. That's the same thing. The contract that he signed makes it to where he can't be a chocolatier. What happened to movies? It seems like we're getting less and less good ones now. I don't think that's true. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm pretty pessimistic about shitty movies. And I do think that we're living through a time where there's, when you look at the real mainstream stuff, it's a lot of shit. But that's kind of always been true. Schlocky, shitty cash-in movies have always existed. Passionless, studio-ruined films and franchises have always been a thing. That's not a new experience. I think if anything has happened, Hollywood has gotten more risk adverse, and that's led to less of these properties being released at the top echelon, right? But if you dig a little deeper and you find these kind of like art house, A24, Blumhouse, both of them make really great films. They're more of like not indie, but independent from the typical Hollywood structure kind of studios. They're putting out great movies, man. Ari Aster is putting out banger after banger after banger after banger. There's a lot of great films coming out. And even some of the crap that floats to the top, it's like Nightmare Alley won Oscar for the best film, and goddamn, it earned it. It was a great film.
That Eyes of Tammy Faye, that was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, Eyes of Tammy Faye also won a bunch of Oscars. It was great. Like, absolutely great. So you just gotta be adventurous. I mean, we just went and saw Dune 2, and it blew my fucking mind. It's one of my favorite action sci-fi films of all fucking time, just based on that one watch. Putting it all together, I'm such a Dune nerd. It was so great, you know? I had nitpicks. Was it perfect? No. Was it bad fucking ass and a tour de force? Yes. Just like it's like anything else. It's like music too. Like, I'll hear people my age saying like, music sucks. I used to be that guy. Less than fucking like 5 years ago or so, I was like, I hate SoundCloud rap. I hate modern rap. It's garbage. The only rap that's good is Tupac. Like, I was literally turning into your granddad. Right before your fucking eyes. And I decided, like, you know what? I don't want to be a boomer about this. Let me go give this stuff a try. And I listened to some of the people, and I really vibed with the beats, and I liked the aesthetic. And now I'm like, wow, I like modern rap. Not all of it. Some of it is hot garbage. But that, once again, that's always been true.
I think a lot of people are unwilling to just appreciate the beats alone of a rap song. Like, the lyrics don't have to be fucking...
That is the problem. You
Yeah.
hit the nail on the head when it comes to old heads, what they call it, like hip hop heads.
Mhm.
When I hear people my age, hip hop heads like me, criticizing the younger generation of rap, the main critique I get is that the lyrics are de-incentivized. Like, lyrics are dumbed down and the beats are front, and that's EDM. That's not rap. This is bullshit. There's no talent. 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist. Like, it takes no talent to just repeat yourself, right? And I used to agree. I grew up at a time when, like, a lot of technical rappers, Immortal Technique came out, while I was into rap. Just like a lot of really great genre boundary pushing technical rappers, right? And here come these kids looking like fucking some kind of neon nightmare dream with diamond teeth and fucking tattoos all over their face, pink dreads, and they're just being repetitive, but the beats slap. And I was like, I see what this is. I got it. I was like, this is stripping down a genre that had become so complex that it was almost like comically self-referential. I'm not saying that rap is bad. I'm not disavowing technical rap. I still love it. But it's so true that rap had become a little bit smug and self-important. And then it got a little bit fucking party rock in the 2000s. And then this SoundCloud wave. So we're talking Lil Pump. We're talking Ski Mask the Slump God, XXX Tentacion, Juice World. This genre of young rappers hit the scene with a sound that was totally different, and old heads all went bleh. But I listened to it, and I was like, man, this fucking slaps. This gets me amped up. It gets the people going. And I really like it now. Not all of it. I think some of it is garbage. Like, I'll give you a top artist right now that I've tried, and I've never been able to vibe with him. But he's pretty big. I mean, he's big on the scene. Kodak Black. I have tried, bro. I have tried. I really did. I gave Kodak Black a fucking full run, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't like his cadence. I don't like his voice. I don't like the super overuse of auto-tune and shit.
Yeah, with this more modern generation of rap, like, it's not like there aren't any people doing that kind of, like, more technical rap or more, like, careful lyrics, but you just gotta let the beat slap.
Yeah, just let the beat rip, dude. I'm fine with it, bro. That's why, like, if you listen to early Lil Pump, not as early super stuff, although I do like that super early shit too, but, like, if you listen to, like, Boss or Like Ooh or Gucci Gang, maybe not so much Gucci Gang though. Gucci Gang's beat is more dreamy. Yeah, I still like it. I still think the beat slaps, but just listen to Boss, that dun 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 ooh dun 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 boom, and then the 808s kick in and they're fuzzed out. Boom, 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist, boom. That shit is just like, man, it gets your heart rate going a little bit. You just fucking nodding your head with it. If you can't vibe with it, that's cool. But I do. I really do.
Yeah, turn off your brain and turn up the bass. I'll try it that way.
Crank the bass. I'm like that with Playboy Cardi. Dude, you want to see what I'm talking about? Pause this for a minute. Go to your YouTube app and type in this. Playboy Carti. Carti is Carti. Playboy space Carti. Fuck, what is the name of that song? Fuck. This is gonna drive me nuts. I'm brain farting the name of the song. He opened his concerts with it for like a year. Playboy Carti. Fuck, I'll think of it. Give me a second. I'm just, you have to forgive my fucking short-term memory. It's just not great. Stop Breathing. Thank you. Playboy Carti, Stop Breathing live. And watch, you don't even have to listen to the whole song if you don't like it. Watch the drop. Watch the crowd when it starts and they recognize what's coming. And then watch that fucking drop when the beat drops. And tell me there's not like a whole new energy to this shit that you're not tapped into. Nobody moves a crowd like that and sucks. I'm sorry, dude. Go watch Rolling Loud. Like, watch the latest, go to the Rolling Loud YouTube channel and watch the latest Rolling Loud. Just watch the artists. Pick the artist that you want. They have a playlist. Pick whatever artist you want. Look at Lil Wayne's recent Rolling Loud set. Look at Kodak Black. So look at the energy that's happening on this stage and this, how they move this crowd, and tell me that there's not something going on that maybe deserves your attention. That's all I say. That's all I would say. If it's not your thing, cool. You know, a lot of people are into shit that ain't my thing. I'm fine with it. I'm just saying, don't dismiss an entire genre evolution because you cringe when you look at Lil Pump. Or you look at Lil Xan and it makes you cringe. Like, I get it. Yeah, they're kind of cringe, but maybe listen to some of that music.
Anything else, baby?
No. Thank you, baby. I'm sorry. I had to go through my Rolodex. I do not. Thank you. And like, you take somebody that's like, for me, like for a lot of people, peak cringe in the SoundCloud era was probably Lil Xan. You can pull Lil Xan up, right? And you'll see what I mean. He's a dorky little white kid. I mean, I guess he's Hispanic, but he looks like a little white kid. And he's got just like face tats all over his little baby face, right? He's a dude that went to the hospital one time, and the reason that he went to the hospital that his team released was that he ate too many hot Cheetos. I'm not even kidding. Kid went to the hospital and everybody was like, oh, Lil Xan OD'd on Xans finally. And his team was like, nah, he got his stomach got really upset because he ate too many flaming hot Cheetos. Cringe, right? Super cringe. Do me a favor. There's a song. Type in Lil Xan Colorblind. It's a collab that Lil Xan did with Diplo. And that song is a fucking vibe, dude. A vibe. I'm sorry. So even that like cringe lord who got sick on hot chip made a song that, like, to me, I'll put that on any fucking time, dude. It's a supreme vibe. I actually am enjoying newer rap trap music. ASAP Ferg helped with that. Also reggaeton rap, Spanish rap. Rewind the genre was going stale. I felt hip hop died in 2005. Maybe not. Yeah, no, it didn't. It just changed. Let's agree to disagree. I mean, okay. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give you some examples so that you can, like, take a look at what I'm talking about. giving bad music a pass here. Man, if it's bad music and it makes my ass shake and it makes gets my fucking blood going, then whatever. I guess I'm into shitty music then. Is that okay? Let's agree that crescent slice is white. You're probably correct about that. But maybe not. Spicy, slurry, tummy furry, got me moving in a hurry. Ooh. Anything I don't like is shitty. You know, people did this, and I'll make a comparison in the art world. So have you heard of like minimalism in art? So there are people like there are pieces of art, and I wish I could name an artist, but like I've seen these canvases before, and it'll be one side of the canvas is black and the other is painted white, and it's a perfect line, and that is the piece of art, black and white, right? Minimalism, artistic minimalism, are typically is a movement that sees that feels of people that feels like the art movement has gotten decadent and has become less about process and more about crowd pleasing. And so minimalism came about as a movement to challenge the status quo in fine art of portraiture and life-like paintings. To a certain extent, expressionism is the same thing, right? Expressionism was a movement that felt that human expression had been bled out of art and that art was cold and analytical, and it wanted to put warmth and human emotion back into art. But we're talking about minimalism, the idea of stripping away all of the trappings, right, of an art form and getting to the very basics. What makes art moving? What makes art visually and aesthetically pleasing? What's the process? And how do people that look at the art process it, right? It's like a Jackson Pollock painting, right? Chaos, but deliberate chaos. So if you take that idea, which is just a fundamental fact in art, and you apply it to the art form of hip hop, you start to look at the modern trope of stripping down the lyrics, repetitiveness, hyper focus on that driving 808 beat, that rumbling fucking overdriven 808 underneath it that just like makes your guts twitch a little bit, is stripping away the social consciousness, stripping away the gangster thing to a certain extent, stripping away the party rock vibe, and just giving you beats and lyrics. Boom. Just watch Stop Breathing, and it's definitely hype. I was mainly talking about his delivery of lyrics and repetition. I'm talking about that now, so maybe rewind a minute or two. I just gave a whole explanation before you came back of how this is like a totally normal thing in art. There's an authenticity to minimalism, and I believe that SoundCloud rap was a minimalist movement in hip hop. Listen to Stop Breathing. I didn't ask you to listen to it though. I asked you to find the live version of it and watch the crowd. That's what I asked you to do. I didn't ask you to listen to it and enjoy it. I asked you to consider the effect that it has on a giant crowd of people. That I was not trying to get you to like Playboi Carti by talking about that song. I was trying to get you to understand that this music moves people on a fundamental level, and that there is value to it. You can see that in the audience. The new hip hop reminds me of rock, and especially punk rock. Punk rock is a great thing to bring up. I'm glad that you mentioned it. Punk rock was an aesthetically minimalist movement in rock, stripping away all of the flourish and giving a fucking real gut punch. Blue collar lyrics, irreverent, simplistic lyrics, repetitive, loud, two chords on the guitar, power chord. Fuck the queen. A fascist regime. Get the people. To fuck the queen. Right? Punk is fucking great. Am I wrong? If you don't see the parallels, I would challenge you to change the way you think about art a little bit. Maybe, take an art appreciation course or something. Give me that bowl. You like that punk music, huh? Are you a punk fan, D? Oh, shit. Dad did it. Dad did it. I gotta come help you now. Give it. You gotta hand it. Oh, D, I'm sorry. Dude, I'm failing today. I'm sorry, D. He starts running before I throw it, and I threw it, and it arced, and it literally just went. He was like, ugh. It's okay. I didn't mean to hit you with it. I was just trying to throw. You're too fast. If you don't like rap, just say that, dude. Yeah, don't waste our time. If you're just a dude that's like closed-minded to the whole genre, it's cool. I'm kind of that way with certain types of like metal music. Like you could be an evangelist all you want for certain types of like what I call like Grover metal. That's what me and my friends used to call it, or Muppet metal. Usually Grover metal though. If you've got a metal song that's like I'm not into it, right? You can be into it, but I'll tell you straight out, that's not my thing. So just say that. That's cool. Don't waste my time, I'm trying to talk to people who are at the very least open-minded and people that are already hip-hop heads too. Rape the line. Rape the line. It's just not my thing. Rape the light, whatever. I was actually liking that song more than I like a lot of Grover metal, so maybe I do need to listen to some more. I was cooking. Rock is deader than dead. Shock is all in your head and your sex and your drugs. Fuck all your protests and put them to bed. God is in the TV. Rock. If you don't get the irony of that song, if you listen to that song, you'll understand my answer to it. It's a song that rocks fucking super hard called Rock is Dead. Come on. It's a song about how people are always saying that. Here's an example of how rock is not dead. I'll use the same song. Playboy Cardi's Stop Breathing. How does that song start? The live version. I'll give you a hint. Jum 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 jum. Jum 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 jum. Jum 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 jum. Jum 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 jum. And don't act like rock and hip hop haven't been fucking blood brothers since the beginning. Rock's not dead. Makes you think, huh? Things that make you go, I don't want to talk to you anymore, Chris and Slice. I'm not looking to open my mind to metal. I have. And it's not my thing. Just say that about rap. I don't care. I don't care to, like, exchange with you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking to people out there that are hip-hop heads that maybe aren't into modern hip-hop, and I'm trying to give them an entry. I'm trying to, like, show them why I am. What my entry was and how I came to respect the art form. You know, it really broadens your mind on an art form to consider other art forms and the movements that have happened in art in general. I'm just letting you know, like, one of the greatest things that I ever did for myself was taking art appreciation in college. It really taught me about these different movements and why they came about and what it means to challenge an established art form and why that's important. If something remains the same, it stagnates, right? Art is inherently anti-stagnation. Art is constantly self-referential across genres and across disciplines. And they're all interconnected. It's all one movement of the human expressive spirit. And if you look at it holistically like that, it gives you a whole different perspective on things. Like a whole different way of looking at the things that you find pleasing in movies, even low effort shit like memes, you know? It makes you appreciate the etymology of human expressiveness through art and where it came from and how it's always kind of been the same movement. And how it's a continuously evolving, challenging, yet self-referential movement. It comes back, it moves in cycles. These things come and go. But the movement that is art continuously moves forward. It's a natural part of humanity. It's part of our very being. It's not just something that we like. It's something that we do, which is fundamentally more important, right? Well, I don't mean to broach the AI fucking thing. Hold on. I'm 100% fine with rap evolving, but I firmly believe it's devolving. Well, that's okay too. I just explained. Did you listen to me when I said minimalism? So, in case you weren't here, minimalism in fine art it's a movement that stripped away pretense The people that started the minimalist movement and started making minimalist art felt that art had become rote and more about technical proficiency and less about expressiveness. And they wanted to strip away the pretense of art and take it down to its most elemental and fundamental levels. Now, however you feel about minimalist modern art, it is a genuine and legit movement. There are $1 million pieces of minimalist art hanging in the Guggenheim, hanging in the fucking Louvre, okay? So you can not like it. Maybe it's not aesthetically your thing. Maybe it doesn't trigger thoughts in your mind that are interesting, right? One way or the other. But you can't deny that it's a legitimate expression and a legitimate challenging of an established art form that moved things forward, that provided people an entry, right? Some people can't get enough minimalism, right? They live for it. It speaks to their soul in the same way that the Mona Lisa speaks to a lot of people, right? And so that's what you need to understand. You say rap is devolving. Well, if it is, it's for the betterment of rap. Rap, perhaps, my argument is, had gotten a little self-indulgent, a little party rock, a little bit fucking rote and predictable, okay? And along comes the minimalist movement amongst the youth, where they strip away these technical bars, replace it with repetitiveness and a driving beat filled with 808s. Just boom! And they speak directly to that kind of primal instinct of rhythm, right? It's a minimalist movement in hip hop. That is not a devolution. Yeah, not all rap is money and bitches. Some of it is, though. And some of that is really good. But yeah, money and bitches is a trope in rap. Yeah, I didn't know J. Cole was all money and bitches. You know what I mean? Need I go on? Outcast. Just money and bitches, right? That's why I love you, Paul. You changed my perspective on a lot of topics. Well, good. I like instrumental hip-hop. I mostly prefer music that's tonally complex rather than lyrically complex. MF Doom has a lot of cool instruments. I agree. I love Doom. Those of you that remember, been around, remember I found out about Doom dying and I cried right here on a fucking ideology. Sitting in my backyard at my previous house. I loved Doom. Even Lil Wayne raps about more than money and bitches. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So does Playboy Cardi. It's not just like, money, money, bitches, bitches, bitches. Well, Juice WRLD is another good example. XXX Tentacion. All these dudes have deeper fucking songs. What's that one? Can't escape the shadows in my room. Can't take all the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you, and I cannot change you, so I will replace you. That's not money and bitches. It's not my favorite song, but yeah. Juice WRLD Designer is another good one. ASAP Ferg, Young Bands. I like some of the more fucking ignorant hip hop too. And when I say ignorant, I just mean lyrically fucking simplistic and money and bitches and good beat. Young Thug, NBA Youngboy. I'm trying to remember some of the other ones I've been listening to on recently. Those two pop out immediately. They're all dying young like rock stars too. Yeah, the parallels are just, inescapable. I don't know. I just feel like my life and my interest in music and art in general was reinvigorated when I started listening to modern rap. It was a big gap in my life since I was a little boy, dude. 8 years old was when I heard, or maybe even earlier, it was probably I was 7 or 6, maybe, was when I heard Belle Biv DeVoe Poison at the fucking skating rink in the most 80s way possible. And my interest immediately snapped away from what it was and still is. I still have an interest in like my parents' music, disco, 80s pop and rock, 50s and 60s protest music and folk music, old R&B and Motown and funk and soul. All of those, I still love all of those genres, but I had never heard modern R&B and hip hop. And then Belle Biv DeVoe Poison came on, and I begged my parents to get me that tape. Back in the day, you could get a single on tape, and I begged them, please get me Poison. Please get me Poison. And they got it for me for like my birthday or something. And I like, to quote Biggie, I let my tape rock till my tape pop. I could not get it. I drove my parents nuts with it because I was obsessed with that hip hop element that I had never heard before. Okay. Then I had these two cousins that were older than me, and I looked up to them. They were big dudes, you know, in comparison to me, and they were cool. You know, they were cool guys. They cussed, you know, and this is going to be funny to you guys, but I'm just telling you, when you trace the etymology of this stuff, it can be really interesting. They brought over a tape one time, and I popped in Belle Biv DeVoe Poison, and they liked that song. And they were like, oh, PJ, you got to hear this. And one of them had a Walkman, which, you know, the little tape player, a portable one. And he pulled out a tape and he handed it to me. And it was a dub that he had made of Vanilla Ice's first album with Ice Ice Baby and Stop That Train. And those were my two favorite songs. But there were, you know, and I'd never heard full-blown like rap before. Okay, so Belle Biv DeVoe is not a rap song, but it has rap in it. I'd never heard a song that was 100% rapped in my life, right? My parents just didn't listen to that shit. And so, yes, cringe, it was fucking Vanilla Ice, right? But I gotta be honest with you, Ice Ice Baby kind of slaps, and I was hooked. So, you guys ever been to a swap meet before? You guys know what I mean when I say swap meet? I don't see them very often anymore. I don't know if they're even still a thing. You guys could still have, like, go to a swap meet every once in a while? I haven't been to one in years. You know what I'm talking about, a swap meet? Vanilla, no. Swap meet. So swap meet was a pretty shady fucking thing that was really ubiquitous back then. It's basically a black market. Yeah, they'll call it a flea market sometimes. But it's basically a black market. And you'll show up. It's usually held at like the fairgrounds. Our swap meet was held in the movie theater. So we had a drive-in, there still is in my hometown, a drive-in theater. They would just close down the drive-in theater and have a big swap meet on the grounds. And it's a giant bunch of, like, people will set up temporary tents, like little covers. Swap meet, Louis, yeah. And they sell whatever. Like, obviously the cops aren't going to let you sell guns openly, but you could get, like, guns, drugs. But that wasn't really what it was for. It was for getting cheap knockoff shit. That's what it was for. T-shirts, toys that fell off the back of a truck that are half price. You know, like that type of shit. Black market. So I went to the swap meet a lot with my parents. It was one of my favorite things to do. Because it was just full of cool stuff and it was all cheap. So I could get my dad to give me 50 cents or $1, right? and I could get a toy, or I could get a tape, or I could get whatever. So there was this dude that had set up this giant thing with underneath a tarp tent thing that he'd set up. And it was a table with a bunch of boxes on it, and it was just filled with like tapes lined up, like the, you know, the cases for the tapes just lined up, and they were all bootlegs. So this dude basically like made money by dubbing music at home and then selling it to people for it was like $1 for a tape. It was $1 a tape. And so I went and found my dad, and I was like, Dad, can I get a tape? And he's like, no, we're here to get a present for I think we were getting a present for my sister for her birthday. We're here to look at the toys. And I was like, Dad, please, it's only $1. And $1, you know, this was like 86, 87. $1 was a lot of money. But he was like, all right. He gave me $1, and I was like, yes. I went over there, and I just spent the whole time. I didn't even look anything else. I was going through this dude's tapes. And I found this tape that was just like, it just said hip hop classics. And it was bootleg. It was like he had just written it on there. And on the back, there was a track list that was printed out, it looked like, or like stolen maybe from another album, like whatever he dubbed it from, like photocopied is what it looked like. And it had the track list and the artist list, right? And on it was MC Ricky D and Dougie Fresh. I'd never heard of any of these people. The Fat Boys, Dane, Run DMC, right? And I was like, I need this, because I just heard for the first time Ice Ice Baby, right? I need this. I don't still have it. Unfortunately, it got I was stupid. I didn't realize that the stuff from my childhood was going to be so nostalgic to me. And so, in addition to the swap meet, right, there was my mom always did yard sales, and she would come around and she'd be like, yard sale time, you know, give me some stuff you guys don't want, toys or whatever you ain't playing with. And I would just throw my shit in there. I'd be like, I'm not listening to that no more. So I don't have it. Unfortunate. But I took that tape home and I popped it in. And it was MC Ricky D, by the way, was the original performance name of Slick Rick. And I heard Lottie Dottie for the first time. It was track 1 on the tape, was Lottie Dottie, which is, if you go look it up, Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh on the beatbox. So it's beatboxing. Dougie Fresh was a beatboxer. I can't do it, but you get my drift. And it's really fucking foundational. It's sampled all the time in hip hop. It's like a foundational hip hop classic. I heard that song and I was done. I was done. Nothing would ever be that cool. You know, like that was it. This was my genre now. And I graduated from that to, you know, the Chronic era, the Dr. Dre, West Coast, fucking G-Funk, gangster rap movement. Primus sucks. They do suck. In the best way. The golden age of rap. Yep. I moved from that, you know, to more modern shit. Got into Eminem when he first came out. Was really into a lot of mainstream stuff. And quite a bit of underground stuff. Love listening to like hyphy back in the day. My friend would bring me these hyphy compilation CDs and I would just like tear through them. I don't remember a lot of the artists, unfortunately, but that was like a Bay Area movement in rap that was really neat. Had a unique cadence to it. And, you know, and then I kind of hit a wall when the modern era of rap, this like sing-songy kind of auto-tuned, stripped down minimalist rap started coming out, and my boomer brain went, no. Rap is supposed to be super technical. And I stayed that way for a few years, and then finally fucking woke up and tried it, and I was like, okay, well, rap is just as good as it's ever been, and it's gonna just get better. That's just the way it works. last week. No, it was several years ago now. It was in like 2018 or 17, somewhere around there. That's when I really stopped being such a boomer about rap and started listening to some of these new artists. And I very much appreciate the fact that I did it, because it's way more fun to be into music than not into it, you know? Anyway, I think I'm done. You guys have a good day. Think about music. Think about art. See you next time.